All right, excellent. Everyone make sure your screen is on, that I can see at least your eyeballs and up. I don't need to see your whole face. There we go. Cool. Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. Good to see you guys. All right. 1,000 Miles. Who is 1,000 Miles by? Is that what is it? Vanessa Carlton with the piano? Yes. All right. I like this song. How you know about this song, Navy? We find out. All right. Come on. And there we go. Excellent. White chicks. That's right. It was on white chicks. Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for turning on your cameras. Please make sure you have your paper and pencil or something to write with. You can even type on your phone or on a computer, but we are going to be writing for our do now. Okay. I'm going to let this play for one more minute while more people come in, and then we're going to get this done and have a great day. Any more song requests? Any more song requests? I'd rather have them collected than asking again and again. I do have a song that I'm going to play for our do now, so I'll start with that, but there is a time for our exit ticket that I can play a song, okay? I can just see you. Guys, I would walk for 1,000 miles, but I don't need to because your faces are right here. Yay! All right, let's get to work. It is 11:33, and now it's time for class. It's great to see everybody. Thank you, Micaiah, for that awesome song. Where have y'all song suggestions been? I've got some okay song suggestions from the boys, but y'all ladies, y'all knocking it out the park. All right, welcome to class. Today, we are talking about evidence. I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see this now. All right, and present. The name of today's class is I See You, and I see you citing evidence as well. I'm not really crazy about these emojis. They should have been, they should have looked like the ones on my phone, but when I brought it to the computer, nah. Let me remind you of our norms, our expectations, all right? Students must sign in with your first full name. You don't need to have your last name if you don't want to. You must show your face during class. Thank you guys for following that direction. You must show your work on the camera when asked, all right? I'm probably gonna ask you to write things in the chat box, so just be ready for that. You must answer questions when called, and you must mute your microphone and never share your screen, okay? Thank you guys for that. You're probably used to this by now, so we'll move on to what's next. Our learning target for today is I can cite several pieces of textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly. When we see the word explicitly, I want us to think what the text says exactly. Okay, not, oh, I think they're trying to say this, or maybe they mean this, but no, this is what it says. Okay, our journal is a 1-paragraph journal. Our do now is a 1-paragraph journal, at least 1 paragraph. You will be emailing this to me when you're finished. And then for our lesson, we're gonna have a close reading and then a text-dependent question. This is all from this week's work. So you'll be able to put these answers into commonlit.org when you're finished. You're welcome. And for the next one, we'll have an exit ticket, all right? And that's also from this week's work. So let's get started with our journal topic. Our journal topic is fire. I am almost sure that everyone has seen the news or heard about the different buildings and cars and riots and just everything happening. Even here in Detroit, I believe, there were some things that were set on fire, okay? We know that this is connected to the Black Lives Matter movement. And I wanted to bring this up because I know that I've been thinking about it a lot. So I want to see if you guys have been thinking about it a lot. The 2 questions to answer are, how do you feel and why? Okay, now the 1 paragraph is just a minimum. You can write more, and when you're finished with it, make sure to email it to me. All right, you guys have 5 minutes, and I have my email address down there. Of course, I need to do this to play this. All right, so I'm gonna play this song for 5 minutes. Makaya, good to see you writing. Shania, good to see you writing. Demyron, come on, man. I need to see your faces, guys. Marquise, I need to see you, man. Mahogany, good to see you writing. Alicia, good to see you writing. Kari, there we are. Marquise. Kari, please turn on your camera. Tyler, good to see you writing. Alicia, good to see you writing. Paris, good to see you writing. All right. Richard, good to see you writing. Navy, can't quite see you. I see the corner of your head. Good to see you writing, Leland. Caden, if you could turn on your camera for me, please. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Reagan, I can almost see you. Rachel, if you can turn on your camera, please. Savion, good to see you writing. All right, 3 more minutes. All right, 1.5 minutes. Ah, thank you for the message, Kyrie.
Mr. Fields.
I'm sorry?
What's up, Mr. Fields?
Hey, how are you, Drake?
Hey, don't start with me today.
Make sure to put your camera on, okay? All right, we got 1 more minute. We're writing a journal. Our topic is fire. All right, how do you feel and why? With all of the protests, all of the destruction, all of the deaths that led up to this, how do you feel and why? I would like it to be at least 1 paragraph, okay? We're gonna play the music for just a little while longer.
Mr. Fields, we emailing this to you too?
Yes, you're emailing it, okay? Thanks for asking. All right, 30 more seconds. And if you're not finished, it's okay. If you want to write a little more, it's not a problem. You can write
Mr. Fields, what's the do now? What's the do now?
The do now is on the screen. I hope you can see it. It's a journal topic. Topic is fire. Okay, so in response to the protests, to the Black people who have been murdered by police, I want you to write, or even just maybe you didn't hear about it. Maybe this is your first time hearing about it. But how do you feel and why? Okay. All right, 15 seconds. All right, while we have 10 more seconds left, I'm gonna put this next song request in. Excellent. All right, now we are going to move on. Guys, if you would like to stay around a little bit after class, no problem, Navy. Thank you for the message. A little bit after class, we can share these, or we can just talk about it if you want. We also have our 1:30 on Wednesday, because I know a lot of you like to share your writing, and I really want to encourage that, okay? All right, now, oh, that's not what I push. Now, let's go to what is next. Next, we're going to do a close reading, okay? So again, this is from the Common Lit assignment for this week. So after you read it, you'll have the answer and you don't need to read it again. Yay. Okay, I do need a couple of volunteers though. I need 3 volunteers. One to read the top part underneath close reading. The next person to read early athletic success, the first 2 sections there. And then one person to read the very bottom, Robinson Continued. Okay, do we have volunteers or do I need to call on people? If you would like to volunteer, go ahead and read. Leland, excellent. Thank you for raising your hand. Go ahead and read the first part.
It says, today you may not be surprised to see an African American or Latino player when you turn on the TV to Major League Baseball. Maybe your favorite player is a person of color, but baseball has not always been welcoming to diversity as it is now. In 1947, the Roosevelt Robinson became the first African American to play in Major League Baseball team. The road he paved was a difficult one.
Excellent, thank you. Shania, can you read the next part for us? From early athletic success all the way to school records. Thank you.
You said all the way to what?
School records. He broke many school records.
Robinson was born in Georgia on January 31st, 1919. The youngest of 5, father left the family just a year later, and his mother moved herself and her children to Pasadena, California. She worked odd jobs to support her family, but Robinson still grew up in relative poverty. When Jackie enrolled in high school, his siblings encouraged him to involve in school sports teams. He excelled in football, basketball, track, and baseball, and he broke many school records.
Very good, thank you. Next, can I please have James read the last few sentences? If you would like to read, there are more things to read. Just send me a private message, okay? All right, go ahead. James, that is, go ahead. All right, do I have a James? Okay, we don't have a James, so I'm gonna ask Lanaya to read, please. Thank you. You ready, Lanaya? From Robinson Continued. I think you might be on mute if you are talking. You got it, Lanaya? Okay. All right, let's keep moving, guys, because I don't want to keep you too long. Can I have Rashard read? And then we're going to have Alicia on the next page. Thank you guys for volunteering.
Robinson continued to play all of these sports in junior college. Ironically, he viewed baseball as his weakest sport. He transferred to UCLA to complete his degree, where he became the first athlete to letter. In all four of those parts, UCLA had some of the most racially integrated college sport teams at all time.
Integrated, yes.
At the time, yeah. But Robinson was still among a very small minority of non-white athletes on his team.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. I want to point out, guys, that the definitions are there on Common Lit as well. You just have to scroll down. When you see the number 1, go to number 1. Obviously, I just color coded them so they're a little easier. Diversity, the definition is the inclusion of different types of people, such as people of different races or cultures, in a group or organization. And letter means to earn an award for excellence in school activities. So usually when you get to high school, you have the opportunity to letter in a certain sport, okay? And it's called like a varsity letter. That's when you get your varsity letterman jacket, okay? I'm sorry you can't see my screen, Kaden. We're gonna try to read out loud. If you can't see the screen, you can actually go to commonlit.org and you can read along there because it's the first section of commonlit.org, okay? Excellent. All right, so now can I please have Alicia to read this? Now, let me say this. Let me go back a second. When we do, back? Nope, okay. When we do our close reading, I want you guys to think about what information is in each paragraph or each section. All right, so I crossed out this first section because there is no information that will help us answer the question in that first section, okay? All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to look for the answer to the question that is listed here. The question is, which of the following describes Robinson early in life? Now, Alicia, if you could read all of that for us, then we'll have a quick moment to work together to get the answer. Go ahead, Alicia.
When Jackie enrolled in high school, his siblings encouraged him to get involved in school sports teams. He excelled in football, basketball, track, and baseball, and he broke many school records. Robinson continued to play all of these sports in junior college. Ironically, he viewed baseball as his weakest sport. He transferred to UCLA to complete his degree, where he became the first athlete to letter in all four of these sports. UCLA had some of the racially integrated college sports teams at the time. Robinson was still among a very small minority of non-white athletes on his team.
Excellent. All right, now let's talk through the answers, okay? This is something that we're gonna do together. You'll have the chance to do your own for exit ticket. But now, can someone tell us what one of the answers that you think we can cross off? All right, one of the answers you think we can cross off. Like, I know this is not the right answer. Okay. Aja or Rachel, can you guys add something? Which one of these questions, which one of these answers selections do you think we can cross off? All right. Alicia, go ahead. Thank you for raising your hand.
I think we cross off A.
A, he wasn't interested in sports. Okay, he was not interested in sports. Okay, good. All right, so that's one we're gonna cross off. Is there someone else that can think of another one that we can cross off? Excellent, thank you guys for raising your hands. Savion, go ahead.
D.
D, very good. D, we can definitely cross off. He was only ever successful at baseball. All right, wonderful. And so between B and C, which answer do you think is correct? Can I see everybody who with their cameras on? Of course, this is an expectation for a reason. We're gonna do a quick vote. Okay, so raise your hand if you think that the answer is B. Raise your hand, okay? I know some of us, we can't hear one another. Well, I can't hear you guys, but I hope you can hear me. All right, excellent. Got some hands, good. Next, raise your hand if you think the answer is C. Okay, got a couple more hands. The correct answer is C. What I want you guys to make sure to do is to reread and just to double check, all right? The evidence that gives us that answer is that he excelled in football, basketball, track, and baseball, and he broke many school records. I also want to bring to your attention before we move on, so C is the correct answer, but A might be, I know it was the first one that we took off, and it's good we took it off, but we might want to look at it again because he wasn't always interested in sports. We could say that he wasn't always interested in sports, but there's no evidence for that, okay? Remember, we're looking for exactly what the text says. So Alicia was correct for telling us, yeah, we should take it off because there is no evidence that that was true. All right, so again, evidence, evidence, evidence. We are evidence seekers. Next. Is it that time? It is. This is our exit ticket. I want you guys to read I would like a volunteer to read the small paragraph. This is our second question from our homework. You're welcome. Again, and the definitions are there. Do we have any volunteers that will read for us? Marquise, did you read already?
No, not yet.
You did it. Perfect. All right. Read that for us, please.
Fighting racism. Even early in his life, Robinson confronted racism head-on. In 1938, while still at junior college, he was arrested after disputing the police detention of one of his black friends. He managed to escape a long jail sentence, but this and other run-ins with the police earned him a reputation of being very combative. Racial oppression. Let me continue.
Please.
When the U.S. entered World War II, Robinson enlisted in the Army. He never saw direct combat, but his military career was marred by racial problems. While stationed in Texas, Robinson boarded a non-segregation bus, but he was instructed to sit in the back anyway. He refused, and the military police took him into custody for his insubordination. Unfortunately, 1 month later, an all-white jury acquitted him, but the situation foreshadowed only more of the same prejudice he'd face later in life.
All right, excellent, excellent. Now I want you guys to take 3 minutes to answer this question, okay? And you can put the answer in a private message to me in the chat box. The question is, how did Robinson handle racism as a young man? A, he challenged it, but avoided conflict with police. B, he challenged it regularly, despite the consequences. C, he disapproved of it, but never directly challenged it. Or D, he used violence to show his disagreement with racism. Please reread, make sure you find the evidence, and then put your answer in a private message to me only in the chat. Thank you. And glad you could hear, Navy. Okay, seeing some answers come in. Great, thank you for that. All right, Ava, I see you raising your hand. Do you have a question or did you want to answer the question? If you have your answer to the question, you can put it in the chat box. If you're not able to do that, then it's not a problem.
I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, no problem. All right, let's take just a few more minutes. Remember, I want you guys, even after you put your answer, I see some people put, I think it's blank. What I want you to do, I want you to reread and make sure you can say, this is the sentence where the answer comes from, okay? Excellent, 30 more seconds, and then I will show you the sentence where the answer comes from, and then you guys will tell me the answer. I will not tell you the answer to this one, okay? Great, wonderful. I'm looking at the chat box, so some people have put in answers and then said, never mind, I think it's something different. That is excellent, excellent, excellent work, all right? That's close reading. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so time is up. Our evidence, he managed, can someone read that for us? Ava, since I know your microphone is working, can you read that, that sentence for us in the bottom right-hand corner? Thank you, Kari, for putting it. Excellent. Ms. Wigley, great to see you this morning. Thank you for joining.
He managed to escape the long jail sentence, but this and other run-ins with the police earned him a reputation of being very combative,
like combat.
combative
Mhm.
against racial oppression.
Excellent. Good. All right. So now you guys have 2 answers to your homework already. I have one more slide and then we're done with class. Guys, there's so much going on. So much. I wanted to take a second to just say, regardless of what it is, if it's the country and the fires and the rioting you're thinking about, if it's being at home and bored, if it's anything, it will get better. And there are some tips that I want to share with you to make sure that we can make sure it gets better, not just expect things to get better with no action, okay? Hopefully we will see everything get better with our own eyes, all of the things that we're concerned about. But even if not, please have faith. And I know that everyone doesn't believe religiously the same way. I'm not saying this is a religious faith. This is just a hope. I hope people get better. You know, I hope they treat Black people better. I hope police departments stop killing Black people, Black women and men. And I hope that those people who have killed Black people those officers who have killed Black people will be sent to jail and that justice will be served. So just hoping that things will change. All right, tips. Love on your family and friends, all right? This can look different for you guys, but I wanna make sure to share a couple of ways that I love on my people. Check on them, spend time with them, ask questions. Sometimes questions are just for conversation and not to make sure that you have all the answers. And just let them know, hey, I'm interested in thinking about this with you and what you're thinking about, okay? Ask yourself, how am I feeling and why? Just like we did with our journal this morning. You can write down your responses and talk to someone about them if possible. Let me be super clear. I have a counselor. I speak with someone regularly saying, hey, I feel this, I feel that. And they're saying, oh, well, why don't you look at it this way? And it helps to have someone else's perspective so that we can get through it, all right? Sometimes we think, oh no, it's terrible, I can't go on. But someone else's perspective might help us to say, oh, I can do this to make it better. Lastly, play. Y'all, I still play. I literally went to the park near my house. I have markers. You guys know I love to draw things, even though I can't draw that well. Watch a movie, play video games. Don't play video games too long. We don't want you to escape, but we want you to have a way of engaging with other people. Lastly, this week assignments already posted. Alicia, I see that you were not able to get on, so I'm going to make sure to give you that information on Class Dojo. And Wednesday, we still have our question and hangout session. I hope you guys are able to make it. Next Monday is our last class. I can't believe it. I'm excited. I'm sad. I'm so many things. I think I'm going to write them. All right. Hope you guys have fun. This has been excellent. Till next week. Peace.